Links to everything will be in the description below. To illustrate the system that we're going to go over today, I'm going to display it here. So we have a Overheal system where we can take extra hearts and have like a bonus heart that takes 2 hits to deplete, and then we lose our normal hearts first. For setup, it's pretty straightforward. All we need to do is go to our canvas. We need to add in our hearts. This is following the Minecraft heart video, which I'll link in the top right. So I've got 5 different hearts. These all represent our normal health. So these will either be in this sprite or they'll be in the full heart sprite when we are healed or when we have that health. So you place those out. These are each individual images. The way you create one of those is you right click, UI image. Again, I go all of that in the video on the link in the top right. The Overheal hearts are set up the exact same. So they have a different image. In this case, our reinforced heart image, and they are laid out exactly on top of my other hearts. For the script itself, the way this essentially works is you have 2 health bars, but one is not always enabled. So let's dive into the script. This is going to be a modification on our normal heart system that we did in the other video. So this script by default has a max health, a life total, a starting life, an array of hearts, and then our 2 sprites for our empty heart and our full heart. What we want to do, since we have 2 systems, we need to add in some variables. We add in a max reinforced heart or health. This is the maximum amount of reinforced hearts we can have. Our reinforced total, which tracks how much we have. This is a property. You can tell because it's got a public getter but a private setter, so any other script may access this. In our start, we set our reinforced total to 0. This is just initialization. We set our life total equal to starting life, and then we call our update UI functions. These 2 functions are going to fairly closely mirror each other. Our take damage function, this is again in the other script, is pretty simple. It reads in an integer, or how much damage we're going to take, sets our life total. If our life total minus damage is greater than or equal to maximum health, so this handles overhealing, our life total is equal to our max health, so we can't heal past that. Then our life total takes our damage as normal. We'll update our UI, and then if we have less than or equal to 0 life, this accounts for taking large points of damage at like 1 hit point, so if you have negative health, we'll die. Then we have our take initial damage function. This function reads in an integer amount for our damage. Do note that this function is public, and we changed our take damage function to be private. The reason we did this is we want people to interact with our overhealed hearts first before they interact with our regular hearts. So in this function, the first thing we ask is if damage is less than or equal to 0. All this means is, are we getting healed or not? Because a negative plus a negative equals a positive. Then, if we are getting healed, we check if our life total is equal to our max health, if we already have maximum regular hearts. If so, we need to heal our overheal hearts, and this is handled by our calculate reinforced damage function. This function is down here, and all it does is, again, reads in an integer for damage. It checks to make sure that we can't get healed past our maximum reinforced health. If our life total minus the damage, in this case a negative number, so plus that number, is greater than or equal to our maximum health, we're going to be set it to our maximum health. Otherwise, we just do it normally. If we do have a regular health to heal, then it just calls the normal take damage function, feeds in our damage amount. If we are not healing, we take damage normally. Then we will update our UI, and if our reinforced total is less than or equal to 0, we need to set a integer damage to take equal to our negative life total. To explain how this works, if you have 2 reinforced hearts and you take 3 points of damage, what should happen there is you get hit, you lose your 2 hearts, and then you're at -1 hearts. Well, we want that -1 heart to carry over to our regular health, so you lose 1 regular heart. That's what this is for. So in that scenario, our reinforced total is at -1, because 2 minus 3 is -1. So we make it negative reinforced total to flip the sign, so it becomes a +1, because we want to take that damage. Then we call our take damage function and feed the remainder of whatever damage is left over after our reinforced hearts have been consumed. Then we set our reinforced total back equal to 0 so that if we get healed, we don't start off at a negative number, so our healing works properly. Our update UI function is the same as it was in the other video. We use an array that is equal to the length of our hearts. The heart's length is also the amount of health that we could have, our total possible life. If I is less than our current life, we'll then use our integer I here to determine if we're gonna make it a full heart or an empty heart. Again, I go into it in that video. Our update reinforced UI is exactly the same. We just swap out our variables. So instead of hearts.length, it's overheal hearts.length. Instead of life total, it's reinforced total. And here we are just turning them on and off. So we're not changing the sprite, we're just enabling or disabling the game object, depending on if we have a heart there or not. Then we have our die function, where we just destroy ourselves. You could do all sorts of things here. Play an animation, play particles, make sound effects happen, what have you. We've already gone over this calculate reinforced damage function. Here is how we gain reinforced hearts. So let's say you're going throughout your game and you want to get healed in that sense. You want to purchase a reinforced heart or overheal shield or what have you. This function is how you would do it. So we say if our maxed reinforced health plus 1, so this is the potential one we're gaining, is less than or equal to 5, we want to gain 1. This right here is a hard-coded number. You could turn this into a variable, like something like maximum possible reinforced health. This might vary from game to game. In my case, I will never want to have more than 5 reinforced hearts, so I can just hard code it to 5. Then we'll set our max reinforced health plus equal to 1. All this plus equal means is we take whatever the value it was at the time that this function is called, and we add 1 to that value and set it equal to it. So this will increase our health by a little bit. So I have here a simple function that just makes us take damage, take normal damage, take negative damage, and gain reinforced hearts. So let's see this in action. I'm gonna make sure that the values on this function is 1 for now. So we will gain a heart and lose a heart. And then I'm gonna check maximize on play, and we're gonna hit play. So right now I have 5 regular hearts. If I press 2, I take 1 point of damage, which works correctly. If I press 3, I'll heal 1 point of damage. Now if I press 3 again, I'll start healing overheal hearts. Currently, my maximum overheal hearts is set to 2, so I can only ever have 2 of them. If I change this to 5 and press play, and I just immediately start healing, I can heal up to full. Take some damage, and I'll drop down. Heal some more, and we'll keep going. This video is inspired by a project that a friend of mine is working on called Sorrowself. This is his first game. It's a 2D action platformer that is art and story driven. He reached out for some help with some of the code. I developed this system. If you guys are interested in this type of game, please follow the link in the description and wishlist it. It looks like a very exciting and promising project. I hope you found this interesting. Please comment below if you have any questions. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you in the next one.